Well, thank you, Kat, for joining me, and congratulations on reaching the final.
Thanks very much, Frida. Yeah, we've got the game tonight, so really looking forward to it, and hopefully we come back with a win.
And it's a West London derby against QPR. How do you feel? How are the nerves ahead of the game?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm really excited to play QPR. Like I said, representing kind of West London, they're a big local rival, so the game means even more. And obviously, before a big match, everyone's nervous, but I think all the girls are just really excited, really keen to go, and like I said, hopefully we can retain our trophy.
And what are the preparations for this game compared to a normal league game? Are they exactly the same for you personally, or do you prep any differently?
Yeah, so I think it's obviously this year's been a bit strange because there's been no league. So I think if anything, we've prepared even more for this game because we don't have the distraction of the league to kind of look through. So we've made sure we've got in, a couple of extra friendlies and a couple of extra training sessions. I think, and you can really kind of see everyone's kind of lifted their efforts because everyone is really keen to kind of be in the team, and you can tell just there's that extra bit of excitement about the game.
And just getting back to that thing about the league there. So you played 4 games, is that right? Got
Yeah,
cancelled.
yeah. So we played 4 games, and it feels like a long, long time ago. To be honest, can't even remember. We were doing really well, so we hadn't lost. We'd won 3 of those games, so it was obviously very frustrating because I think this could have been like a really good season for us. But it is what it is, and we just look forward to kind of coming back stronger next year.
Definitely. And also because you didn't have any like league, do you feel that's an extra incentive? Like this cup means so much more now.
I think absolutely, yeah, because like I said, and our coach has made the point. I think we've got a really good, strong, and a really really good squad this year. Really good team. There's real togetherness, and I don't think we've necessarily had the chance to show that because, like you said, that there wasn't a league to go for. We had a very disappointing result in the FA Cup. So this really is our our only chance, our big chance. So definitely takes on extra importance because it'd be a really good way to kind of mark what hasn't been the best season.
Yeah. And you mentioned strong squad there. What are the competition like? Like, do you know the starting lineup, or like do you have a rough idea?
No, and I think, I mean, and I'm captain, and I wouldn't even be, guaranteed a place. I think, what's really changed this year more than any other years, but certainly through my time at the club, is we've had like strong starting lineup, strong first 11 before, but now, you know, right through, number 1 to 16, we've got real competition for every place. So no one is kind of secure of their place in the starting lineup.
Okay, that's fantastic. And obviously, you mentioned you are the reigning holders. So last season, you reached the semi-finals and it got cancelled due to COVID. And the season before, you won it by beating Leighton Orient 1-0. Did you play in that game?
I did play in that game. Yeah, that was is a very tough tough game. Like you get to a final, it's going to be a tough match whoever you played because you're going to be playing against a really good team. And I think again, Leighton Orient, they're in our league. We always have kind of really close matches. I think we might have lost to them in the league. So, um, but we have got that experience. So I think that will really help us. We played in that cup final, we won it. We've got a number of the girls, still playing. So hopefully we can draw on that experience. And we're not going to kind of give up our trophy without a fight.
Were you captain on that day as well?
I was captain on that day. I was
Oh,
captain, and I got a player of the match as well, which never happens. So
okay.
fingers crossed
So
it
no
can be
pressure like
repeated.
that.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. Like I said,
do you feel as a captain that it's extra pressure on you to lead the way?
I think I do feel like I need to kind of lead by example. But actually, I think in a game like this, you don't need to motivate anyone because everyone's motivated, and we've got a lot of really kind of experienced players, and we've got people now who are kind of more vocal. all across the pitch. So actually, you know, I think my job, I shout at people a bit, but it's relatively easy because, like I said, you don't need to get anyone up for this game because you can tell everyone really wants it.
Definitely. And also Leighton Orient, they are in your league, aren't they? Whereas QPR, they're in the league below. Does that come into players' mind that they might think a bit like, or they're not going to be as strong as the teams we face in the league?
I think definitely not. You know, I think we know from playing QPR, you know, numerous times over the year, and obviously they've had changes to their setup as well, and they're coming up through the league. So, you know, we know a lot of their players. We know how tough they are, and we've been in that position ourselves. We've been the team that are in the lower leagues beating the team from the league above. They've beaten teams in our league to get to the final. They haven't had an easy draw. They're there on merit. So we absolutely will take them, you know, very seriously. We're not complacent at all because, like I said, they're a very strong team.
And to get to the final, tell me about how you got here.
So, well, we started, when did we start? Way back when, I've got that. But yeah, so we played a few rounds. So since the break, we've played QPR in the, not QPR, Crystal Palace development in the quarterfinals, that was, and played really well. Came through, I think, you used our experience and beat them 4-0. So that was a kind of good result, confidence booster. Then we had a very tough draw. So we had Enfield away in the semi-finals. That was a few weeks ago. You know, we were the better team, but it was a very even game, nail biting. And actually we won that on penalties. So I think, you know, really kind of showed our character. Everyone contributed. Incredibly tight game. Hopefully we don't have to go to penalties again today. But it was definitely a confidence boost for all the girls.
And what was it like being part of that shootout?
It was, to be honest, it was very nerve wracking. You know, I think everyone's going out. Luckily, I didn't have to take a penalty, which is probably why we got through. But it was very close. You know, I had girls around me that couldn't look, couldn't watch what was kind of going on. But you know, I think ultimately, even though, you know, it will come down to one or two people in the penalty shootout, you know, we're one team, it's a team game, everyone's contributed to get there. So I think we know that kind of we can rely on each other for that support. And as I said, I think hopefully it doesn't go to penalties today, but having gone through that in the last round and showing we can do that, as well as giving people practice, hopefully will give us the edge if we do have a shootout tonight.
Is that what you've been doing at training? Have you like set some time aside just to practice pens, or?
I think we've done a bit in training, not a lot, because I think you can over practice, you know, those type of things. So, you know, like I said, the coaches make sure that we're well prepared, but ultimately we want to focus on winning in 90 minutes. So that's where our kind of concentration has been.
Definitely. And you mentioned earlier you played some friendlies. How have you been feeling as a team in those games? Like, have you been feeling this is all in the build up to the cup final?
Yeah, so I think it's been good. You know, I think we tested ourselves. We've played, you know, some teams in the higher divisions or kind of very strong teams in our league or the equivalent leagues in other region. And I think that's been really important to keep everyone kind of sharp, keep everyone fresh. I think sometimes it can be hard to get, you know, motivated in friendlies, but knowing we've got the cup final has been a help. And I think it's also just given us a good opportunity, given the coaches a good opportunity to try out new combinations, you know, new formations, and make sure everyone is a good level of fitness, because we know that today we're going to use all of our subs. We're going to need it. It's a whole squad game, and I think that's been really helpful.
And without giving away too much, do you kind of know what the style of play you're going to be playing?
I think, you know, obviously don't give away trade secrets, but you know, we are a team that like to play football. You know, we want to get the ball on the floor, pass it around, and show what we can do. And I think that's our goal tonight. But having said that, it is a cup final, and ultimately we don't care how we win. If we win pretty great, but if we win ugly, just as great, because all we're going to remember is who lifts the cup. But that's the way we like to play.
And Danny, this is his second season, isn't it? So it's his first cup final with the team. What impact has he had since he came to Actonians?
I mean, yeah, I don't think we can really kind of. I don't think I can overstate the impact that he's had. He's been absolutely phenomenal, alongside Sinead as well, who's his assistant and obviously knows the club really well. I think just his kind of professionalism, his attitude. He's got everybody like really, really motivated. He's very dedicated. Our training sessions, our preparations are really on point, and he's managed the squad incredibly well. And I think, if it wasn't for him and Sinead, we definitely wouldn't have been in that cup final. I think, if we had some of those similar experiences and some of us played the similar teams that we did in the year before he arrived, we probably wouldn't have had the same results.
Okay, well, that sounds like you're in a good shape for the final. How was it during lockdown to stay, fit, and for everyone to kind of be pulling the same way?
Yeah, I mean, it's really difficult. We're not a professional club. Everyone who plays for us has got day jobs, and we've got a lot of people who are key workers or that type of thing. So I think it is difficult to maintain motivation when you don't know how long you're going to be out for. But we had some good kind of fitness plans, or challenges which were kind of given to us. And I think, everyone knows how best to kind of manage their own body and make sure they keep in shape. So, I personally do a lot of cycling and a lot of running, to keep the fitness, even if you can't play football. And I know everyone else was doing their own thing too.
And you're one of the more experienced players. How long have you played football, and how long have you been at Actonians for?
Yeah, so revealing my age here, but so I've played football pretty much as long as I can remember. So played since I was a kid. I was at Arsenal from maybe the age of 9 or something. They were my first club, right up kind of through the youth team, and then I moved on to uni and a couple of clubs after that. I've been in Actonians. I've lost count, but probably eight years or something like that. And I've taken us from seeing us. We got promoted. When I first started playing in this league and being in cup finals would have been like a distant dream. So, Linda has done a fantastic job in kind of building the club up, and we've done a good job in recruiting and keeping kind of really good players. So, yeah, and then kind of hand it over to some people as I kind of get old and get replaced by younger and better players.
Don't say that. But do you think that starting out at Arsenal is something that you can even use today, even though, several years later, like just that kind of like professionalism ahead of a final?
Yeah, no, I think so. And obviously when I was there, I played in quite a lot of finals, and it's given me that kind of good foundation. I mean, what I would say, you won't appreciate this, Frida, because you're much younger than I am, but when I started, it wasn't professional. We played in the gym of a local secondary school, on a basketball court, and we just kicked a ball around, to be honest. So I'd have no chance of playing for them as I am now, because the women's game has just moved on so much. But what I can draw upon, like I said, is those experiences of playing in the big matches, which might not happen for everyone so often.
And this is the thing as well with women's football, because it's a sellout game today. How does that feel with fans coming? And obviously, there's people on my team. We've not been all able to get tickets. So how does that feel to know that there are people who wants to come and watch but won't be able to?
Yeah, so I mean, firstly, to have fans is absolutely fantastic, and you can see the cup final. Normally, we have some very loyal fans who are typically the parents or kind of know the club, but we might get, 5 or 10 each game. So just to have the fans back and cheering for us is really exciting, and to know we've managed to sell out. Obviously, it would have been good if we could have had more tickets, but given the social distancing or whatever, that's not possible. I think we're really lucky that I think somebody's it's on a radio kind of live stream. So hopefully, if people can't get to the game, then they can listen to the commentary on the radio and cheer for us in spirit.
Yeah, but also, what does that tell you about the women's game that you're playing in a county cup final and people want tickets, but they can't get tickets?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I think it's phenomenal. It just shows, like you said, that the real growth in the women's game in women's sport. You can see that, right from the Super League and the England team, the press coverage getting right to kind of local teams. And like I said, we wouldn't have dreamed about that, 5, 10 years ago. So it's a really positive sign of kind of the growth in the women's game. And I think it'll just continue to go from strength to strength. And hopefully we get in the final next year, they can give us a bigger stadium.
Let's hope so. So just one final question before the final. Do you have any superstitions or any rituals that you do before a game?
I'm not too bad actually. I have to put on my left shin pad first. I don't know why, but apart from that, no, just like to kind of get on with things really.
Okay, let's hope you don't get the shin pads mixed up tonight then.
Yeah.
And thank you for your time and good luck tonight.
Thanks very much. You too. Cheers.